Alright, so in this video, I want to be really real with you and really transparent and explain to you the reason why all of these people online are lying to you. You've been sold a lie. Everyone is telling you that this is the 3-step formula to become more confident. This is the one simple hack that you need to implement right now to become confident. And if you can only do this one program, this one course that I have to sell you, you're gonna become confident and certain as a man and increase your testosterone and become a strong leader and get all the women that you want, all that stuff. And I used to believe this stuff myself for a long time because I was really insecure. I was wondering like, what do I do to become more confident in social situations? And like, after having gone through that entire journey myself and trying those different hacks and like watching these guys online and joining some of those courses, I've now gotten to a point where I realize like none of that stuff actually matters. And I think if you can understand what I'm going to explain to you in this video, it will allow you to just kind of remove all the pressure that you have on yourself. Because you probably feel like pressure and like all these different rules and techniques to remember, and like when I meet this person, how am I supposed to act to get them to trust me and like actually come across in a confident, masculine way, and all these different things, you know? And you put all this pressure on yourself, which just makes you anxious. It used to make me very, very anxious, and makes you stressed, and makes you feel worse, and makes you less confident. It doesn't work, you know? And that's why it's so stupid, you know? So I think hopefully this video will make you more confident and more just like relax, you know? Make your mind more peaceful, which is ultimately what I think the way that's gonna allow you to become truly confident. I don't think true confidence comes from remembering and memorizing these specific hacks and these specific things to say and like how to walk or like, I know those things. And to explain this to you, I need to give you a bit of a backstory so you can understand, and you're probably gonna be able to relate to this as well. Because like, I used to in the past be really like insecure. I would be like, when I was gonna meet new people and I was gonna like meet with girls and things like that, I would be like super like insecure in myself and like how I was gonna show up, and I'd be very like in my own head and thinking about how am I speaking, what am I saying, overthinking everything, and it's being like really unsure in like all these different parts of my life. And that's why I was seeking out this advice to begin with. And I was thinking like, if I could just find and like study someone who is really confident, and if I can find someone who's confident, someone who's certain, I can just learn and like implement the hacks that they have in my own life, that will solve everything for me. That was my belief that I had. And I was doing that. I was looking at different people online and like trying to figure it out, and I didn't actually like, I learned some stuff that probably helped me, but to be honest, like what kind of happened is like I learned like you're supposed to look people in the eyes, for example. You're supposed to ask people a lot of questions when you're interacting with other people, and you're supposed to do X, Y, and Z, you know? And I did that. But when I was doing it, when I was in interactions with other people, or when I was doing whatever type of things, you know, that involved confidence, you know, I was in my own head so much and thinking about it, like the payoff or like the result I got from implementing that advice, it wasn't there. It didn't actually give me a positive return, because the thing that I was missing, the probably the thing that you're missing right now, is like confidence doesn't come from learning these like different hacks and these different skills and these different like principles and things like that. It just comes from you being like confident and certain in yourself, you know, and you just being calm and being okay with not needing anybody else. And understanding this is gonna be so freeing, you know, because instead of you thinking that, okay, I have to learn this principle, I have to learn this way of acting in my next like social setting, and like I need to memorize this script or memorize this tonality, you know, you realize like none of that stuff actually matters. And the only thing you need to just understand is like you are gonna be okay regardless of what other people around you do. And if you can internalize that, that is gonna make you fucking insanely confident. It's gonna allow you to, because at the end of the day, if you think about what is confidence, what it actually means, it's basically it's you being independent of what other people think of you, you know, you being yourself regardless of what people around you say or think or do, you know. And the way that you internalize that is by completely detaching from what other people say. The more you can follow your own truth, the more you can follow your own internal kind of compass and like your own thoughts, your own beliefs, regardless of what people around you say, how you can speak, how you like the stuff that you do, your opinions, all that stuff. The more you can follow that, the more confident you are. And this just comes from you like developing internal certainty and just convincing yourself that you are someone you can make it regardless of other people's support or not. You don't need anyone else. You don't need any girl. You don't need any like friends. You don't need any, like you're not actually dependent on other people because you have internal guidance. You trust yourself to such a high extent you don't actually need anything else. And it also comes from a large extent from this like realizing that nothing actually matters. You know, if you hang out with someone and like you're out on the street, you know, and you do something weird, if you say something that's off, or you sound weird, you look weird, or whatever, like you're probably in your head like, shit, I said this thing, and you start to analyze it, and like you're making it such a big thing in your head, and like the day after you're like, shit, last night at this dinner or whatever, like I said this thing, and like shit, it didn't actually connect with the people that was there, and like I come across as this super weird person, and blah 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 blah, you know. In reality, no one actually cares. Everyone is so freaking preoccupied with their own life and their own problems. And think about yourself, when you're out on the street and you see someone doing something weird, you know, you see someone like a random dancer or some homeless guy fucking taking a shit on the street or whatever, you know, you look at that for like 2 seconds and you're like, shit, that's crazy. And then you move on with your life and you don't actually care about it. That's exact same thing that everyone else, and how everyone else interacts with the things that you are doing and how they look at the stuff that you're doing. So you understand that it is gonna like allow you to just detach yourself so much from what other people think, and just allow you to get that actual confidence, because you realize no one actually cares that much about you. And this will also allow you to realize like the saddest thing you could do is live your entire life and letting other people's opinion dictate your actions. And then realizing when you're like 70, 80 years old that no one actually cared in the first place. Because then you basically just lived an entire life that wasn't actually in alignment with what you wanted, only to realize that there was actually no one else that even cared about you in the first place. No one actually gave a fuck about what you did in the first place. Yeah. And that's the most like sad. And that's obviously like what's allowed me to kind of gain this confidence and gain this certainty, is just like realize like no one ultimately cares so much about what you do. And yeah, like the worst case scenario is people think that you're weird, maybe you end up becoming like a meme online or whatever if you do something really like fucked. But you will gain so much more from just being yourself and risking it a bit, and it's like putting yourself out there, recording videos online and starting a personal brand or starting your own business or moving somewhere or like getting into new social circles or whatever it is. You know, you will gain so much more from taking those risks and doing it compared to what the potential like downside is if you seem a bit weird, you know. So, because like at the end of the day, like the risk that the worst thing that could happen is it's not that you will get like that you would end up on the street and die, you know. It's not like you're gonna be, it's because one person or like a group of friends doesn't actually like you, you know, they think that you're weird. The worst thing that could happen is literally, it's not even that bad, you know. If we have these beliefs, because since we were like, yeah, like in the history, you know, if you didn't become a part of like the tribe or whatever, you know, you thought you were gonna die, but that's not the truth. That's not the like reality anymore. So I'm getting a bit of like off track here, but I think the thing you need to realize, like the more you can just be confident in yourself, the more you can just trust your own inner kind of dialogue, your inner like certainty and your inner like guidance, the more confident you will come across to other people, the more confident, more important you will feel as well. And the way you do this is basically like showing yourself that you're someone who's worthy of having that confidence, you know. Start saying that you're gonna do something and do it. Set out goals that I'm gonna start my own business, I'm gonna travel to this new country, I'm gonna cold approach this girl, I'm gonna like whatever it is, you know. Set out these small goals and start doing them, and as you go you will develop so much conviction into yourself. And this is what allowed me to really change my life as well. I went from like being very insecure simply because I said I was gonna do things but I never did them, you know, which I was unconsciously just telling myself that my word wasn't worthy of anything at all. But now I got to a point where I started kind of developing this, and I started doing new stuff. I traveled halfway across the world at 19 years old with 4K in the bank account, and went here to Medellin, Colombia, figured stuff out. Didn't know anyone when I went there, and I figured stuff out as I went. Got into a brand new thing with doing like remote sales myself, and didn't know like anything about it, just kind of threw myself into it as I traveled here, figured it out. Made my first 10K per month doing it. I started like posting videos online, didn't know anything about it, had no idea what I was doing. figured it out, just kept going, and had that inner, just like certainty, internal certainty in myself. And I've been able to develop this now, which is allowing me to have more confidence now. I know if I start something, I have the ability to figure it out. I have the ability to achieve my goals because I've proven it to myself. So if you lack that right now, the way that you get it is by starting small, starting to wake up early in the morning, starting to make your bed in the morning, starting to work out every single day when you say you're gonna do it, starting to eat healthy, and like actually basically setting out a goal and doing it. That's what it's all about. And then you expand, you do harder and harder and harder things. That's what I'm doing myself as well. I went from literally, like the first thing I was doing was like taking cold showers, starting my own business. They got into remote sales, traveled halfway across the world and met like brand new people I never met before, and leveled up my network, starting a new business now and pursuing new ventures. And like that's all what it comes down to. And that's how you really level up as a person. That's how you build true confidence, setting out a goal, taking action on it, aligning your actions with your works. This is also the stuff that we talk about inside my community, where we have a group of young guys who are fucking killers, who are committed to leveling up in life, and who basically want to achieve more in their own life. They want to learn high income skills like content creation, like remote sales, things like that. And we have a lot of accountability, and you get access to me like directly, so you can ask me questions, get accountability and get coaching and get basically the blueprint of how to become confident and how to really change your life in a very short amount of time. So if that is something that you're interested in, I think you should definitely go into the description down below and click the top link in the description and join there. You'll be able to work with me closely and really step up now and make a big change in your life. So if you're interested in that, click the link, hop in there right away, and I'll see you on the inside and be able to work with you more closely and help you out on your journey. If not, no worries either way. I'm gonna keep coming every single day here with the daily videos. So subscribe so you don't miss out on the videos. Leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this content, and comment what you think down below. And I'll see you tomorrow in the next video. Take care. Ciao.